welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about my pre-semester checklist. It's basically a list of all the things I like to do at the beginning of a semester to set myself up for success, what I do to prepare, how I upkeep it throughout the year, and just all the fun things I do to make school a little less challenging with the amount I do outside of it. Alright, so to get started, we're going to talk about my Google Calendar. My Google Calendar has gone through many different forms. I used to be like a Apple Calendar person, but you really can't do as much on it. So for my Google Calendar, I'll put a picture up here, but basically I have color coordinated every single thing that I do. So everything I do has a different color and a different purpose. So just to go through the list of things, basically it's classes, homework, and assessments. And for these, I print out the syllabus for every single one of my classes and I highlight it. Alright, so this is one example, but as you can see, I have the important dates highlighted, assessments, assignments, I have my final exam highlighted in a different color, and I basically go through and I do this for every single class, and then I take that information and I put it on my Google Calendar. So on my Google Calendar, I have all of my classes and their times, the times that they meet, the location, and then I also have one color for assignments or homework, so anything that's expected of me to do on its due date. So I put the due date of the assignment, and then for assessments, I put the assessment on there as well. However, if the assessment is a quiz due at noon on February 4th, I'm going to put it on the 3rd so that I trick myself into thinking that it's due earlier. Another thing I have on my Google Calendar is going to be clubs and studying time. So for clubs, it's anything like Run Club, my Sociology and Criminology Club, any clubs that I find myself wanting to join. I put the meeting times on the calendar. That doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to go to those club meetings, but it's just there so that I know that I have those options. For me, one of the clubs that I participated in at UM is going to be the reading club, but I don't necessarily go to every meeting because unfortunately I just don't really have the time for that. The other thing I was talking about was studying time. This I only use when I'm really in the weeds. Otherwise, I use my planner, which I'm going to talk about later. But studying time basically is mandatory, get your ass in the library time. So anytime I'm feeling overwhelmed, I have a shit ton of assignments, I really have to lock in and get stuff done, I go to the library and I sit there for the duration of the studying time that I have planned. This is just helpful so that I force myself to go and I force myself to study, because a lot of the studying I do is in between classes, running around when I can. So that just kind of sets an explicit goal for me to study. The next two things are going to be work and working out. So for work, I'm currently a waitress, and as you can see in the calendar, I work 4 times a week. So it's really helpful to have these planned out, just so I know this is when work is. It's in a separate little color. Unfortunately, I always have to go to work, and there's also travel time and stuff like that. But yeah, it has its own calendar, so if I pick up shifts, I put it on the calendar, and then I know. The other thing I mentioned was working out. I actually go to the gym, I want to say 4 or 5 times a week, and then I run twice a week. I also do Pilates, stuff like that. And so it's really helpful to have my gym routine on the calendar, just so that I know today is this day, the next day is that. I think going to the gym is really important for me just because I kind of lose my mind during the school year. So having that set up in my calendar so that I know when I have to go there is really helpful. I also have the time blocked out. I used to go to the gym for 2 hours a day. I wasn't seeing any progress. I dreaded going to the gym. I was high-key kind of miserable. So now I kind of just go for 45 minutes. It's not as strict or rigid, but still having the time blocked out is really important to me. Next, I have my Formula 1 calendar. Self-explanatory. I'm a Formula 1 girly, so that's up there. And then next, I have my personal calendar, which is pretty much everything else. So my personal calendar is just gonna be the personal stuff. It's gonna be doctor's appointments. It's gonna be anything for Salem. So he doesn't really have his own calendar because he can't do stuff himself. So I have to do all of his stuff. So anything like giving Salem a bath, which is once a month, or trimming his nails, which is every other week, or brushing his teeth once a week, that's all gonna be on the calendar so that I don't forget. Just because it is a lot. Obviously I feed him once a day and all the important things, but he has a lot. He has a lot. So I kind of give him his umbrella under mine. It'll say Salem with semicolon, and then I'll have whatever I'm supposed to do for him just so I don't forget. That also includes planning time. So once a week, for me it's on Mondays, but once a week I sit down in the library and I plan everything for that week. I take everything on my calendar and I put it in my planner. I'm going to touch on that more later, but it's really just a time for me to like center myself, figure out my goals for this week, see what I actually have to get accomplished, because everything on the Google Calendar is very big picture. It just says like, do this by this date. It doesn't necessarily explain like how it's broken down and stuff like that. So Mondays is my library day. I go and I figure it all out and I break it down for myself. Another thing I like to plan is cleaning, but that comes under the task portion of the Google Calendar, which is what I'm going to talk about next. So for tasks, it's going to be my beauty stuff and my cleaning stuff. So once a week, I like to clean up my eyebrows because they regrow in like 2 days. I also like to do a hair mask and a face mask. So that I have structured into the calendar just so I remember to take time for myself. Also so I don't look like a troll 24/7. I think it's really easy to kind of be so focused on school you really let yourself go. But I try to like keep up with this stuff just so it doesn't get out of control. Obviously, you know, I shower every day, wash my face every day. But the more time consuming stuff like hair, eyebrows, that I put on the calendar so I don't forget. Another thing I put on this tasks calendar is going to be cleaning. So I do 30 minutes of cleaning every day just to like upkeep. Because if I don't spend 30 minutes cleaning every day, if I don't set a hard like 30 minutes, I'm going to like distract myself by picking things up all the time. I'm going to walk around my apartment and be aggravated by the mess because I have a messy roommate and I'm never going to get anything done because I'm constantly going to be cleaning. So 30 minutes, beginning of the day when I first wake up before I go to class, I tidy things up in the kitchen, in my bedroom, in the living room. It's not perfect, but it's tidy. Then on Thursdays, I have a really big gap in between my classes. So then I can go crazy. I do my laundry, I deep clean my bathroom, deep clean my room, and I really make sure I just have a clean space every week. So it pretty much lasts me until, you know, the following Thursday, but I really take that time to make sure everything is clean. Otherwise I go crazy. So that's it for my Google Calendar. It's, you know, all those things are color coordinated. Hopefully this was helpful. It's an easy way to break it down. So that's it for my Google Calendar. The next thing I'm going to talk about is my planner. So this is my 2026 planner. This is what she looks like. I get the same planner every year. I really love her. She's from the Paper Source. I think my favorite thing about this planner is like how much space you have to write in it. It's really nice. It's not super heavy. It has this like little tab thing, which I know like some of them do, but not all, so I kind of prefer it. And then it has a space for each day. All right, and if you can see, I've kind of broken things down by color. So one color, which was pink for this week, is gonna be any assignments that I missed from last week, didn't have time to do. Those are top priority, hence pink. So I write down the assignment, highlight that shit in pink, and then I make sure to get that done first. The next thing is going to be general assignments. So I go on my Google Calendar on Mondays, I go on my Google Calendar, and I see all the assignments I have for that week and their due dates. So I'm going to write down assignment due on the day that it's due, and then I'm going to take the assignment into manageable steps and break it down. So if the assignment is, say, chapters 3, 4, and 5, I'm going to put sociology chapter 1 on Monday, chapter 2 on Tuesday, chapter 3, whatever, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So that way, by the time the due date comes, it's all broken down and done, and I don't feel overwhelmed sitting down to do like 4 pages of a textbook in one night. The other color I have is going to be planning. Planning is something that I like to stay on top of because I have to be organized in order to feel productive and get things done. So obviously on Mondays, I'm going to have my fill out planner. That should be the first thing that I do every week is fill out my planner. Then on other days, it might be, you know, call so-and-so's doctor's office or make sure to email this person about an internship or send an email to your teacher about when the quiz is or stuff like that. That's going to go under purple for planning. And as you may have noticed, I don't have like gym or meals or cleaning or anything like that in here. This is very homework oriented. So this I bring to and from school with me every single day so that if a teacher adds or changes an assignment, I update it in here really fast. It's nice to have this physical thing. I can cross things off. It's really helpful. So I highly recommend just getting a planner so then you can, you know, break things down, make it easier. I think just really referencing this against my Google Calendar once a week helps me stay very on top of things. So we love her. She's such a cutie. Highly recommend. Next, I'm going to talk about my Google Drive. This is her. She's very cute. As you noticed, Next, we're going to talk about my Google Drive. This is her. She's very cute. As you may have noticed, lots of folders. So I have a folder of assignments from last semester. It's because I accidentally got rid of everything from the first 2 years. So all I have is the assignments from last semester, but they're in the fall 2025 folder. And then all of my classes this semester, I have them in the 2026 folder. And each class has its own document that I keep a running list of notes on. I like taking notes on my computer. I think carrying things around, it's too much work. I cannot have a notebook with all of my notes. It'll drive me crazy. So I have them in the folders. And then I also have my planning folder. That's going to be stuff like my meal ideas. So for that, I kind of keep just a running list of food options. And then on Mondays, I like to meal prep or meal plan all of the stuff I need for the week. So just kind of writing down a list of okay, I'm going to take this from this day and this from this day and put it on here. My cat is playing with my light. So then I also have a running to-do list in my Google Drive. So this is all the stuff that I want to accomplish in my free time that I don't necessarily have time for in that moment. So a lot of it is I bought stained glass decals for my car, so I want to put those up in my car, but that's not pressing. I can kind of do that whenever. Or maybe it's read this book, or buy some rings, just stuff that I want to do that I don't have time for. So that's going to be on the running to-do list. Another thing that's on that list is really niche things to clean. Pull out all my shoe racks from my closet and clean underneath them. That kind of stuff. Finally, the last thing I do to prep for the semester is I decorate my iPad and my computer. So this is my iPad. And I used a widget app to kind of create all those really cute pictures and widgets. And no, this is not necessary for productivity, but it just makes it like more fun to look at. Like I get excited to use my iPad because I'm like, oh, look how cute it is. Like she's so cutesy. And so it didn't take too long. I mean, it took a little long, but it took like an hour. You just kind of scroll on Pinterest. You pick out random pictures that you like, that you think are aesthetic or cute. And then you just use like the widget app to drag them all onto your desktop or your iPad desktop, whatever that's called. I hate the new iPad update. It's horrible, but you know, it's fun. You get to customize it a lot more. So I spent a good amount of time doing that. I also like to organize everything on my iPad by like idea. So I have my school, music, television, just stuff like that. So it'll be easier because I'm more of like a pull down, scroll and type it in. So it just keeps it aesthetic and cute. So we want to use our iPad and we want to study. I also did the same thing with my computer. Now for this I used Canva and I just kind of created my own desktop. I think that it's nice because I have my lists of class on one side where I can like see everything. I just swipe to the side. I'm like, oh, that's the class I have next. Let me do that work. It's really nice. And then I get to put, you know, cute pictures on there and it's really fun. So I highly recommend doing that as well. Now that's super easy. You can literally just find a template on Canva and like fill it out and customize it. It's awesome. Highly recommend. Now, in regards to the fun stuff, so I have yet to go back to school shopping this year, so I'm hoping to do that soon. I've basically created a Pinterest board. This is her. She's really cute. My Pinterest is like my safe space. I just have everything on there. But I like to like scroll through it, plan my outfits. It's fun. I just think it's like nice to have an idea of like what you want to wear, what you want the vibe to be. I think I struggle a lot getting up in the morning to like put together a cute outfit. I usually roll out of bed in like sweatpants and a t-shirt. And I just don't feel like as productive or as cute. Like I have less desire to like do things and be seen out in public because I look like trash. Like if I look like trash, I'm going to feel like trash. So my work is going to reflect that. So I think just having a Pinterest board of like super cute outfits that you want to put together and wear makes you want to, you know, be more productive and get more things done. It's the same idea with like doing your makeup every morning. Like when you feel good and you look good, you do good. Another thing is what's in my backpack haul, which is going to be my planner that you saw earlier, my computer, my iPad, and a pencil case. I don't bring paper with me to school. I've actually never had like a need for paper. I do need pens, pencils, because a lot of my teachers have me fill out these like, they'll ask me a question, then you have to fill it out, and then that's your attendance, so they know that you are actually paying attention. So that I need pens and pencils for. Another thing I keep in my backpack is a lot of chapstick. I'm a chapstick girly. I'm a lip combo girly. So that I keep with me at all times. And finally, it's going to be my handy dandy water bottle. I like to drink 60 ounces of water a day to keep my brain sharp. But yeah, besides that, that's it. So hopefully this helped give you a good idea of where to start with your semesters. If there's anything you want me to expand on, let me know in the comments and I'll make another fun little video regarding that. So yeah, good luck.